announced as the tallying process continues in Nandi County. Emmanuel Toy is following that for us. But moving away from party primaries, 10 oil marketers were today questioned by the DCI's Economic Crimes Unit as the government seeks to determine what is causing the current fuel shortage, which it has termed as economic sabotage. KTN's Noakip Kimboy has more.
For the better part of this month, Kenyans have had to go without fuel, queuing for hours on end as they sought to access the precious commodity. Through all this, the government has been seen to have done little or nothing to avert the crisis or restore normalcy. Yesterday, the government came out guns blazing.
We have determined that some players have been hoarding this product, presumably and probably speculating that on this day of the month, the 14th, as you all know, price reviews will provide them with a cash windfall. This speculative behavior is not only a demonstration of bad faith, but in fact is insensitive to the mandate of the operators.
And today, 10 oil marketers were summoned by the DCI's Economic Crimes Unit to answer key questions on the fuel shortage. Sources reveal that the oil marketers were questioned for over 5 hours each. Top on the list of questions was whether any of them or their competitors had hoarded fuel during the period with the intent of reaping higher prices gains ahead of the upward review of fuel prices. Second was the question as to whether they had prioritized the sale of fuel to export markets at the expense of the local market. The DCI also sought the view of all marketers as to what could have gone wrong within the fuel chain leading to the current crisis. Additional queries were made as to the role of key government institutions within the fuel supply chain, including industry regulator IPRA and Kenya Pipeline, which acts as both as a storage facility and transporter of fuel through its vast pipeline network. The companies questioned by DCI include Total Energies, Gabco, Has Petroleum, Lexo Energy, Ola, River Petroleum, Vivo Energy, Galana Oil Kenya, Lake Oil, Petro Oil and Rubis Energy.
We will therefore go the full hog to bring all persons, all entities that are in breach of their licensing and operating guidelines to book, because we will not allow any disruption to the extent we have seen to this point.
Under the law, the marketers are required to maintain a minimum stock of petrol to last 20 days and diesel to last 25 days in order to shield the country from supply disruptions. The Energy Minimum Operational Stock Regulations 2008 outlines that any person who contravenes the provisions of these regulations commit an offence and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 2 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or both. Prioritizing the local market will also be rewarded, with the companies that sold more locally being allocated more input capacity, with those who sold more across the borders having reduced quotas. None of the company representatives were arrested or detained, but the DCI Economic Crimes Unit is expected to guide on the next course of action by Tuesday next week, with the government keen on cracking the whip. Though the government had promised to restore normalcy within 72 hours, many Kenyans are still stranded across the country as they grapple with high fuel prices and empty pumps. The onus is on the leaders of the 10 listed oil marketing companies to prove that they operated under the law and kept the minimum required stock levels, lest they face 2 years of jail time or up to 2 million shillings in fines. Noakip Kimboy, KTN News, DCI Headquarters, Nairobi.
You're watching Weekend Prime. Thank you for staying with us up until this point. I want to take a short break. We'll be back shortly with more news updates.